It's time for some of that greatest in the Santa Clarita Valley. I have some special guests in studio. We have DaAnne Smith, Steve Korn, and Tracy Hauser, and they are representing Single Mothers Outreach and the Empowering Hearts program. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great.
Good. Thanks for asking.
Friday. How could it get any better?
Right, it's Friday. Yeah. That's a good point. So let's talk about we've had one of these. Dan, you were here for the other one,
Right.
And we talked about the Empowering Hearts program, and it's spelt. If you're looking at it, it looks like he arts. Is what it looks like, because there's an art element to this. Absolutely. And so talk to me a little bit about the Empowering Hearts program.
Okay. It's actually an event where we honor women from our community, and we pair them with local artists who create original works of art surrounding her story, surrounding a theme. And this year's theme is perseverance. So the committee and the board of directors chose 6 local women whose stories embody perseverance and triumph. And so Tracy is one of our honorees this year, and she was paired with Fallon Renteria, who will be creating her art piece surrounding perseverance. It culminates in a gala on November 7th at Savia Community Center, and the artists we have a grand prize for the best art based on the theme, and we also have a People's Choice Award we give out for that as well. So Fantastic. It's just really fun.
Awesome. And then we have Steve Korn here, and he is so are you a sponsor? What is your role in all of this?
I've got a bunch of things going on. I'm a member of the board of directors of Single Mothers Outreach, and I'm a sponsor of Tracy Hauser.
Okay. Yeah. So talk to me about how did this come about?
Well,
all this stuff. Tell me your story here.
My story, Tracy, goes back many, many years before I was even in the real estate business. I was in a garage of a coworker in Canyon Country, and Tracy was doing what she does as a realtor, but this time she had 2 kids in tow, one in each hip, and she was doing her job by walking the neighborhood and meeting her clients and personally delivering some paperwork. And I'll never forget that. I never forgot that. And she was a super person to meet then. And then, maybe 8-9 years later, I got into the real estate business, and our paths crossed again. And I've always been marveled at watching what she's accomplished in her life.
Fantastic. And so there's sponsorship still needed, right?
Right.
So what needs to happen?
So the point is, when I had the opportunity, when Tracy was nominated, and me being on the board, or just a supporter of Single Mothers Outreach, I felt inclined to want to sponsor Tracy as a person who has watched her persevere personally in her career and her life. So very honored to do that. You bet. You bet.
All right, we're going to you, Tracy. I'm sure this is really comfortable for you, and you really probably appreciate this. But you are the honoree, and yes. So talk to me about that. Talk to me about getting this nomination, or not nomination, but nomination.
It's a nomination.
It's a nomination. Yeah. But how, being an honoree, talk to me about that.
Well, it's a really nice thing to have happen, and there's got a flood of thoughts going on, and I don't know which one to come out. When we were doing the event over at the Afezi's house, and listening to some of the stories of some of the other women, I got to be really honest, I felt like I didn't belong up there, because some of these gals had some pretty incredible stories, and I thought, wow, I'll keep my problems. That some of them just had really been through some pretty amazing stuff, and it reminded me about whenever you meet somebody, you really don't know their whole story, and you don't realize the path people walk to get to where they're at. And so to judge somebody's by what they look like on the outside or how they appear on the outside, you have no clue of what they've internally had to deal with to get to that point.
So you said Fallon Renteria? Is that how you pronounce the last name? Is your artist? Have you guys seen the art yet? Is that unveiling at the gala? And
that's right. That's where it'll be shown to the public for the very first time.
So what's the process with that? Because obviously the artist has to get to know you a little bit.
Yes, and I've had some conversations with her. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she comes up with. Her and I talked a little bit about some personal things with me and things that have great significance and meaning, and she's going to do some art around that, and she has shown me a couple things, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for
Yeah.
the show. I think what she's doing is going to be really pretty impactful.
Awesome stuff. And so you have more to say.
I have more to say because Tracy is quite humble,
Yeah.
as you can tell.
Yeah.
But
It's always uncomfortable. Like,
It is.
It's so, yeah, it always
it is. I absolutely disagree that her story. Yeah. She. Steve referred to her having, children on each hip. She was a single parent, building her business, her real estate business, and also being a mother to her children. And I don't think people realize how incredibly difficult that was. And Steve mentioned to me, he says, I remember when she had duct tape on her side view
mirror in her car.
and she's showing clients houses, and she's got these kids in tow and whatnot. And I thought, that is remarkable, that you just, you pick up, dust yourself off, and you get on with life, and you persevere and you triumph. That's basically the bottom line. So that's
sure.
why Tracy was selected out of a very pretty competitive pool
Yeah.
of women, I might add.
Yeah.
And so we're very proud to honor her.
I have just an immense amount of respect for you, because I have a wife and 2 kids, and it's a struggle just with the 2 of us, and we have a 3rd one on the way, and it's like, I'm like, we're switching from a man-to-man to a zone, and I can't imagine not having my wife with me. So that I absolutely have so much respect for you and all the people involved with Single Mothers Outreach.
Thank you.
And speaking of that, so DaAnne, I wanted to talk to you. For people that don't know about Single Mothers Outreach, what is it, and what is your guys' mission?
Our mission is to empower single parents and their children, and both single dads and single moms, by the way. And we provide hope resources, support, so that our families can, we like to say, we want to move them from surviving to thriving.
What they call it, hand-ups, not handouts.
That's right. I
Yeah.
know, to use a very cliche term, but it's true. We hold our families accountable for their growth. They don't get to stay in our program unless they are on a path of growth. It's something we're very committed to, and our community really has shown its vote of approval of that path, and so we've had tremendous support. We sold out of our honoree sponsorships just incredibly fast.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, our Vance Wealth Group is returning as our empowerment sponsor, our big sponsor, phenomenal organization that believes in our mission, and so it's really exciting to see that our community gets what we're doing,
Yeah.
and is supporting it.
Well, and this might be a really good time to plug the closet on what's going on with that. And I don't know how many people are aware that there is it's really like a boutique of gently.
Right down the street?
Right down the street
Right down the
from
street from
here.
here.
Yeah.
Across the street.
And-
Oh, is it right there? Can we see it out our window?
Yeah,
All right,
kitty corner.
fantastic.
And what's really neat about that is when DaAnne came up with that concept and she asked Margot to help her organize this, to me that was such a wonderful example of a good social enterprise, because the public brings in the donations and the public also shops there too, along with the parents. And it's really incredible to see how this is really gaining some momentum. And Single Mothers Outreach is taking steps as a nonprofit to be self-supporting. And that is a huge thing. To see something
Scary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is scary.
It's taking on many dimensions. It's awesome.
It is. It's taking on many dimensions, and it's so. As a give back, my team and I go there once a month and keep the closet open during. I think it's now the second Thursday.
The second Thursday
That's the
during the
Art Slam.
car
That's the
show.
Art Slam.
Yeah, the arts.
Okay.
So people that don't have an opportunity to, or wouldn't normally know about the closet can come in and take a
peek.
Take a peek, because it's all volunteer run, and they're open from 11 to 6. And when we originally started doing this, they were only open from 11 to 4. So that keeping it open from 6 to 8 was a huge help. So people knew that it existed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You can go to singlemothersoutreach.org for more information, learn more about the Single Mothers Outreach of Santa Clarita. And thank you, DaAnne. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Tracy. And congrats, Tracy, on
you.
all that you do and getting honored. And that's wonderful, wonderful stuff. And when is it again? When is the gala?
The gala is on Saturday, November 7th
Okay.
from 5 to 7.
Fantastic. Okay. Again, go to singlemothersoutreach.org for full details on that. And we're going to take a quick break and wrap things up. Coming up next.